So retail riding high, but not only from all of that free money, but the cash that was saved from not having to pay rent, not having to pay student loans. The moratorium, by the way, for rent was found to be illegal, and soon the resumption of student payments will begin, at least it's scheduled to begin. I want to bring in Walser Wealth Management President Rebecca Walser. And Rebecca, apparently President Biden weighing student loan forgiveness. Your thoughts on that?
Well, he's already forgiven $13.1 billion, Charles, on the for-profit schools. But, I think it's a really difficult sell to the American public to forgive student loan debt when we have inflation near double digits. And, we just passed a $700 billion bill on the Inflation Reduction Act. So that's going to be difficult.
So now that we do have this so-called Inflation Reduction Act, now that it's passed, walk us through what it means for our pocketbooks right now, right? Because they're going to be campaigning on this in the midterms as if it's had an immediate impact. I don't see it.
Charles, this is so frustrating as a tax lawyer because I can tell you they go out and they say, oh, no taxes on those under $400,000. And Biden's saying that he's living up to that promise. But there are multiple groups now saying the Joint Committee on Taxation found that just in 2023 alone, those making under $200,000 will have a $16.5 billion bigger tax burden on them that next year in just 2023 alone. For $400,000 up, it's over $14 billion just next year alone. So when you look at the fact that last year in 2021, 57% of our entire taxpayers did not pay federal income tax, mostly related to Corona. But in 2020, it was 44%. So you already have about half the country out of federal income taxes. They pay payroll taxes. They think they're paying, but they're not paying federal income taxes. So when you have so few people paying, to expect that you're going to put this big burden on all of them, it's just not going to happen. Forbes did, Washington Post actually did an analysis and said that last year in 2021, 51% of all IRS exams were for people making less than $75,000. 51% of all IRS action in 2021 were for people making less than $75,000. This is a tax to the end user, the consumer, us. It will get passed from the corporations down. We know that. We have multiple groups saying that, and it's just disgusting to me that they're going to go out and campaign that they are not raising taxes on the middle class when we know they are.
So with all that in mind, and then all these sort of economic risks that are floating around, on any given day, you may read inflation, recession, stagflation. How should investors be positioned in this environment?
Charles, unfortunately, I look at this market as a bifurcation. What we have experienced so far has really been a result of coronavirus and all of the extra stimulus. I am waiting still for this market to realize that the strength of the dollar is very much compromised with the petrodollar collapsing this year after Russia got kicked out of SWIFT. So we have a lot of changes that are coming economically at the macroeconomic level that globally that people are not talking about. They still see the dollar as so strong, and they just don't understand what's coming now that we're really moving to multipolarity with the BRICS versus the West and NATO, and we're going to have other reserve currencies. The dollar's not going to be the only game in the shop anymore. Dollar hegemony is dead, and therefore you must hedge with some commodities. You must look at some commodities that are true stores of value. Hard assets are going to get us through because we are going to see this dollar have a lot of problems the rest of the year.
Yeah, Rebecca, as great as always. Thank you very much. Folks, we'll be right back.